You knew Sheryl Swoopes was going to add her 2 cents here. She wanted Caitlyn Clark to stand in there and keep in mind, Angel Reese is what, 6'4", Caitlyn Clark's 6 foot. And yeah, and she got a problem with the fact that Aaliyah Boston grabbed Angel Reese. Well, Caitlyn Clark's walking away. Why the hell are you going to grab her? Sheryl Swoopes is she can't help it.
Sheryl Swoopes is making headlines again. And no, it's not because she's found inner peace. She's back with another fiery rant aimed straight at Caitlyn Clark, delivered with the intensity of someone trying out for a soap opera. This time, the spark came from a flagrant foul committed by Clark on Angel Reese during Indiana's total domination of the Chicago Sky. The 93-58 blowout was basically Clark's personal highlight reel. Reese went up for a layup, but Clark denied it like a club bouncer turning away underdressed guests. Angel hit the floor hard, kind of like Swoopes' last attempt at offering unbiased commentary. The refs called the foul flagrant, and Reese got hit with a tech for her reaction. As for Cheryl, she was already prepping her next dramatic TED Talk, possibly titled Caitlyn Clark, America's Problem Child. Thoughts?
Both Clark and Reese saying this was a basketball play, or was this flagrant foul bigger than that?
I don't have an issue with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. Yep, I thought the refs got it right. My thing with that was, like, stand in it.
It all happened during what was supposed to be another exciting rivalry matchup between Indiana and Chicago. But this time, Clark decided she was done playing nice. When Reese drove to the basket, Clark stepped in, made contact, and wrapped her up like leftover takeout. Reese hit the floor so hard it practically shook the internet. Here's where it got interesting. Clark didn't celebrate, didn't talk trash. She just turned and walked away like she had a dinner reservation at Nobu. No glance back, no drama, just focus and a quiet sense of victory.
I don't think Caitlyn Clark is wrong for walking away, but I also have no issue saying she shouldn't have, with someone saying she shouldn't have, because if you've played ball, you know that, like, sometimes, like, if you're gonna go and intentionally foul
that
somebody,
walk-off,
and you know
iconic.
they could react.
Clark committed the foul, brushed off the chaos, and walked away like she had better things on her schedule. And honestly, she probably did. Meanwhile, Reese popped up like she was spring-loaded, ready to throw hands and one-liners. But Clark was already halfway back to her bench, looking more put together than a senator dodging scandal. It was ice cold. It was deliberate. And to half the crowd, it was epic. The other half, they booed like she just cut off their Wi-Fi. Either way, the clip went viral faster than a dancing baby goat.
Returns to the Gills Arena podcast. Bigger, better, more delusional, more foolish than ever. Sheryl Swoopes, welcome back, Cheryl. We missed you over here. Caitlyn Clark delivered a hard foul, and she walked away. It was a basketball play. Foul, you're not getting this layup. Walked away. That's it. Angel Reese stands up.
Before Reese could turn that moment into a WWE style. Showdown, Aaliyah Boston stepped in, like a Netflix character trying to break up a bar fight. In an attempt to calm things down, she gave Reese a slight push. Whether it was intentional or not, it only added more fuel to the chaos. Whistles echoed through the arena, players tensed, and fans jumped to their feet like it was the final scene of a Broadway play. This wasn't just basketball, it was a full-blown drama production. Enter Sheryl Swoopes, stage left. But let's be clear, Swoopes doesn't just offer occasional critiques of Caitlyn Clark, she practically has a scrapbook devoted to her. Every game, every foul, every facial expression, Clark is living rent-free in Cheryl's mind. After the foul on Reese, Swoopes went scorched earth on her podcast, accusing Clark of acting like she runs the league. Never mind the fact that by all metrics, ticket sales, merchandise, and TV ratings, Clark pretty much does.
Sheryl Swoopes is so jealous of Caitlyn Clark, and she will advocate violence on Caitlyn Clark. She was on Gills Arena's podcast talking about how she was cool with the foul, but she wasn't cool because Caitlyn Clark walked away from Angel Reese when Angel Reese was chasing her and Aaliyah Boston had to step in. And mind you, she had a problem with Aaliyah Boston stepping in. So she wanted Caitlyn Clark to stand there and get hit by Angel Reese. And also on top of that, now she's advocating for the All-Star game to be removed from Indiana.
You know that. One relative who always has something to say, whether you asked or not. That's Swoops when it comes to Caitlyn Clark. As soon as that foul happened, you could almost hear Cheryl cracking her knuckles, ready to type another dramatic monologue. Within hours, her hot take hit the internet, spicier than a jalapeno. And subtlety? Not her style. She jumped on Gil's arena like she had receipts and a personal score to settle. I don't have a problem with the foul, she said. My issue was with all the other stuff. Translation. Cheryl was upset that Clark didn't stick around to trade words with Reese. According to Swoops, if you start the fire, you should be ready to stand in the flames. Apparently, Clark's real offense wasn't the foul. It was daring to walk away with grace.
Sheryl Swoopes wants to see degenerate activity. Sheryl Swoopes wants to see bottom of the barrel activity. Sheryl Swoopes wants to see a bunch of nonsense taking place on the court. Cheryl, if it was a hard foul, why would Angel Reese get up the way she did? If it was just a hard foul, just a basketball play, why would Angel Reese get up the way she did?
Then came the signature Swoops special, the double standard rant. Cheryl argued that if Angel Reese or anyone else had committed the same foul, it would have sparked an uproar. But since it was Clark, the reaction was toned down, softened, sanitized. In Swoops' view, Clark is the media's golden child, untouchable, shielded from criticism. Of course, that overlooks the fact that Clark takes a beating every game and still gets slammed by half the media like she's single-handedly ruining the sport. But sure, Cheryl, go ahead and paint her as the chosen one while ignoring the reality that Clark's been taking elbows and criticism since day one and doing it without complaint.
You're gonna foul, stand on it, Caitlyn! Stand on it! What do they say in The Wizard of Oz? What did the lion say? Put him up, put him up. Is that what Sheryl Swoopes wanted to take place? Do these people just want to see Caitlyn Clark get physically hurt? Did we not see her get physically hurt enough last year? Let's play a game of make-believe. Caitlyn Clark, instead of walking away, instead of getting pulled away by her teammate, yeah, we'll get into it, she stands there. And what happens? Angel Reese yokes Caitlyn Clark up, showing how mentally of a midget she is, showing how immature she is, showing how much of a degenerate she is. Is that what you want to take place?
Let's not forget, Sheryl Swoopes is a 4-time WNBA champion and a certified legend. But lately, her legacy is starting to feel like that one ex who can't stop talking about you at every party. At this point, Cheryl's obsession with Caitlyn Clark has more twists than a soap opera. When Clark was breaking records, Swoops downplayed it. When Clark nailed logo three-pointers like they were free throws, Swoops said, "Let's see her do it against real competition." If Clark walked on water, Swoops would probably ask if she could swim.
I mean, she got so much hate in her heart for this 6-foot white girl that's playing in the league, dominating everything.
Fans aren't blind. They've noticed the pattern. This is no longer just analysis. It's a vendetta. A relentless focus that makes you wonder if Clark accidentally took Cheryl's parking spot one day. While Clark keeps making history and changing the game, Swoops seems stuck repeating the same bitter script. Downplay, discredit, repeat. And here's the irony. Cheryl once carried the WNBA on her back, but now she's dragging the league's newest star as if she's a burden. Swoops wants the WNBA to grow, but only on her terms. Only if the spotlight shines where she says it should. Heaven forbid a 22-year-old from Iowa comes in and sells out arenas faster than most teams can update their Twitter feed.
It's amazing how different somebody like Cynthia Cooper is to Sheryl Swoopes. They played together, but the difference in the hateration, the pettiness, the jealousy that comes from one former player versus the other former player is...
Maybe that's what stings the most. Clark isn't just good. She's transformational. She's doing what hasn't been done, changing the game and the audience, bringing fresh energy while keeping her focus and letting her skills speak. That kind of presence doesn't need approval from the old guard. It just needs space to run. While Swoops keeps trying to rewrite the story her way, Clark keeps making history. Triple-doubles, record ratings, sold-out crowds. These aren't flukes. They're facts. And they're happening whether Cheryl likes it or not.
You asked me about Caitlyn. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
So, if Sheryl Swoopes wants to keep delivering monologues about what Caitlyn Clark should or shouldn't be doing, let her. The rest of us will be watching Clark rise to become the face of the league in real time. The scoreboard doesn't lie, and neither does the future. It's already here, wearing number 22. Let's talk about Caitlyn Clark's superstar pull, because it's the giant megawatt elephant in the arena. That game, oh yes, that game, was the rematch, and it did not disappoint. It was less of a regular WNBA game and more of a cultural event. The Fever vs. Sky showdown smashed local viewership records. Secondary ticket prices soared to levels. Usually reserved for Taylor Swift concerts, total StubHub madness. Why? Because 17,000 fans packed the arena like it was the finals. Millions more watched from their living rooms, basements, bars, and probably even dentist offices. And all this excitement? It was just a regular season game in May. One word to describe Caitlyn Clark: amazing. A beast. She is the real deal. The woman could play a pickup game in flip-flops on a driveway and there'd still be drones, film, crews, and at least 5,000 fans in camping chairs chanting her name. The Caitlyn Clark effect is more real than ever. A single foul from her Sparks talking head debates splits Twitter in two and sends Hall of Famers into podcast overdrive. Forget headlines. She is the headline.
One word to describe Caitlyn Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth.
It's not just any kind of fame. We're talking magnetic stardom, usually reserved for LeBron or Steph Curry. She's not just playing basketball. She's shaping culture. Yet, here comes Sheryl Swoopes treating Clark's success like a personal insult. Instead of seeing a rising tide lifting all boats, Cheryl acts like Caitlyn is dragging hers ashore to retire it. It's that tired, who invited this new kid to my party? Energy, transparent and exhausting. Let's break it down. On one side, Caitlyn is selling out arenas, dominating stat sheets, inspiring future players, and redefining WNBA popularity. On the other, Cheryl. Swoopes has her finger permanently on the critique button, dissecting every move Clark makes like she's auditioning for CSI. Hard wood. Honestly, Cheryl has spent so much time watching Clark's career that she might as well be Clark's unofficial biographer.
Go grab your own teammate. Don't come grab my teammate. So where Aaliyah Boston went over to Angel and was kind of like, we ain't gonna do that. Like, to me, you gotta go get your own teammate. I didn't have a problem with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. I thought the refs got it right, and then you keep on playing. I got issues with all the other stuff that came along with that. Not
that foul, by the way. So, how is Caitlyn handling all this drama? Like a seasoned pro playing chess while everyone else argues over checkers. After the game, she sat next to Aaliyah Boston at the press conference, calm and collected, brushing off the drama like lint on a blazer. No malice, she said. Just defense. It was the verbal equivalent of move along, folks. She even admitted she didn't think the foul deserved a flagrant upgrade, proving once again she's somehow more mature than half the adults making hot takes about her every move. Naturally, Cheryl found a way to twist that too. She zoomed in, so hard on that mini confrontation, she could have been mistaken for the league's official drama detective. Cheryl had notes on Aaliyah, on Caitlyn, on the walkaway, on who stood where, and who blinked first. She dissected the sequence like it was game film, complete with analysis on who should have grabbed whom and what it all really meant. If WNBA drama ever needed a theatrical director, Sheryl Swoopes has the job locked down.
Every single analyst and pundit in the basketball community has been rifling off takes regarding Caitlyn Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese during the May 17th game between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky. Not only was the foul itself noteworthy, it really wasn't. I mean, there's people out there trying to claim some kind of random different angle showed up, and I watched that over and over again, the original angle and then this new angle. I'm not entirely sure this new angle I'm seeing is not.
But the real show was in the stands. Indianapolis turned out like it was Super Bowl Sunday. Fever diehards, Iowa transplants, and families dressed head to toe in Clark gear filled the arena like it was Halloween for basketball fans. They didn't come to sip tea. They came to see fireworks. The roar after every Clark three-pointer, the gasp after the foul, the eruption after the skirmish. It was electric, not chaotic, not toxic, just pure, unfiltered basketball energy. The league could bottle that and sell it for $19.99 interview.
Cynthia Cooper. Oh boy, I think she may have made Sheryl Swoopes a little bit salty. I can see that.
She averaged 31.6, 7.4 rebounds, 9 assists, right? Did anyone expect her to do that in WNBA?
Those three? No.
Right? So she didn't do that.
No.
Now, if we say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But
That's crazy.
5.6
Those are hell of a numbers.
Those are hell of a numbers.
But to me, that's
And you better believe they'll be back. This whole saga, the foul, the flare-up, the Swoopes soliloquy, the Twitter theater is only fueling the Clark versus Reese bonfire. The rematch is circled, highlighted, and framed, with ticket prices already spiking. Caitlyn versus Angel is now the WNBA's hottest matchup, and no amount of finger-wagging from disgruntled legends can slow this hype train. Let's get real. Being a megastar means becoming a magnet for love, hate, clicks, and criticism. Clark's spotlight is so bright it's practically giving people sunburn. With every 30-point game, every viral highlight, every crowd chanting MVP when she's at the line, the target on her back grows. But that's how it works. You don't become a star without also becoming a lightning rod.
I can see the salt. I can see the sweat beads coming out of Sheryl Swoopes' forehead right now, while her former teammate, who won 4 WNBA championships with her, 4. And she's getting on here and she's telling the world Caitlyn Clark is the truth.
So, for every fan holding up a homemade Caitlyn is Queen sign, there's a Sheryl Swoopes in the background, squinting skeptically and muttering about the good old days. And you know what? That might be the best compliment Clark has received yet. You're not truly at the top until someone who used to be the top won't stop critiquing your every move. Still, Cheryl's going to Cheryl. She's got opinions and she's not shy. But when those opinions keep swinging like a pendulum stuck in a grudge, people notice. They see the contradiction, the bitterness, the refusal to let a new era unfold without complaint. More than that, they see Clark continuing to rise, despite all the noise.
Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any...
While Sheryl Swoopes is busy crafting her next long complaint, Caitlyn Clark is preparing for another game, another sold-out crowd, and another box score that reads like a prophecy. She's not distracted, she's not discouraged, she's dominating. The truth is, Caitlyn Clark is the lifeblood of the league right now, the very oxygen in the WNBA's lungs. Without her, the league is just a whisper. With her, it's a roar. That flagrant foul? Just a footnote. The backlash and critics? Background noise. Echoes in an arena already chanting her name. Do you think Swoopes is out of touch? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.